So James Gunn just pulled off what I would argue was the most baffling creative decision in comic book movie history. Well, with the exception of what they did to Deadpool and Wolverine Origins, like, let's be real here. The DC Studios co-CEO and self-proclaimed Superman fan took Jor-El, Superman's father, his mentor, the voice that's supposed to guide him towards becoming the best version of himself, and turned him into the exact thing Superman fights against. It's honestly mind-blowing that this not only made it through the creative process, but into the final cut of the film. This creative choice completely undermines everything Superman represents, and I think we need to talk about why. I'm Frank McGuire. Welcome back to Court of Lore, where we make sense of all your favorite made-up shit. Court is in session, and if you're new here, make sure to smash that subscribe button because we drop content like this every week. Now, this is a segment from our full Superman review episode that's been getting a lot of attention and a lot of feedback. When we recorded this particular moment, I knew it had to become its own video because what James Gunn did to Jor-El and Lara was short-sighted and what amounts to IP malpractice. We're going to show you exactly how he turns Superman's moral foundation upside down, why this affects every future DCU movie, what it reveals about James Gunn's approach to beloved characters, and how they fumbled an opportunity to turn this into one of the greatest Superman moments in the history of the character. Let's get into it.
I didn't like that reimagining of Jor-El at all, and it's sticking. So now that's kind of what's hanging over Superman's head in future movies. Is this going to be a Superman that you can't trust for the next however many phases? This is the thing that he's going to have to try to get over, I guess. I don't know. I didn't like because Jor-El has always been the father figure of Clark. I mean, I get Pa Kent is, but he always looked to Jor-El as like this mythical father.
He's a mentor. He's a mythical mentor. Yeah.
We always romanticize, the quote unquote the absentee father. What would my father have really been like if he was in my life? And that's what Jor-El kind of is. And for him to be that and go get a harem, like what? Like what are we even doing here? So I didn't like that either. If he would have played it as a deep fake and tried to convince the world that Superman is here to take over and do all that, and then it exposed Luthor for creating this deep fake, would have been much more believable. It would have fit more into the mythos of Superman and who he is, and that Superman is a person that wants to be on Earth and protect Earth and guide humanity to be the best version of themselves. And now you're going to question that for the rest of time, I guess. So, yeah.
No, I agree with pretty much everything that you're saying. There's nothing I would push back on. If anything, you're echoing my own sentiments. Yeah, the Jor-El thing, the Jor-El and Lara thing was weird because it confirmed something for me too. It confirmed that James Gunn, there's this story that he likes to tell when he's talking about producing this movie. And he's like, I always wanted to do a Superman project, but I never really had a story for him. I really never, I didn't know how to go at it. I didn't know how to break the story. He taught, that's how writers talk, right? When you break a story, you figure out your way in where you can start to build everything else around it, right? You need that one idea that helps you build everything else out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when he did this, I'm sitting in the theater and I say to myself, I'm like, okay, so James Gunn didn't break the story. He broke somebody else's. He broke somebody else's story so he could tell this story. So that in itself, it just indicates to me that maybe James Gunn wasn't the right guy to do this project. Or maybe he had too much going on where he could properly serve this project. I don't know. But if you've got to break something as admired and revered as Jor-El and Lara, and the fact that they sent Kal-El to Earth with the best of intentions to be this now, that fucks everything up. Plus, he still got the House of El badge on his chest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now you got to do away with that too.
Because now it doesn't mean hope. Now it means oppression.
Yeah. It means oppression and subjugation and destruction and the whole nine. There's nothing good about that symbol anymore.
It's like Jor-El said, it's odd.
Exactly. Totally he went, yes, exactly. It was almost like, he went to the, to fucking Zod's school of interplanetary relations and passed this lesson down through the generations. That's exactly what it's like. And here's the thing. Had there been a moment where Clark had removed that, basically casted that symbol off and said to himself, okay, you know what? This is no longer the symbol that I need to go by. I know I'm saying something very radical where we create a new Superman symbol, but I'm just saying, had he done that, there might be some actual substance to what James Gunn has done. But all he did was break the story that we all knew just so he could tell his story and give Superman an arc, because he doesn't have an arc without breaking this story. Like there is no arc in this movie other than this. Superman, like, you know, Superman, Kal-El, Clark, whatever, is trying to prove that he's not the person that his parents want him to be. He's not that guy, right? Which is why that big conversation happens between him and his dad on the porch. He's like, you are the sum of your actions. You are the sum of what you do and what you put out into the world, right? Which is totally accurate, and I think is a great message to send to everybody. But like, dude, come on. Like, this was just not the way to go with this story. It just wasn't the way to do it.
I mean, even at the end, he fully embraced his Kent upbringing. So if he would have taken off that stylized S and put on a more human S, then it would have been something different. Like, it would have been really cool, now that I'm thinking about it, if he took off that angular S, which I thought looked cool, but if he took off that angular S and it went to the traditional, like, Christopher Reeve S, the traditional Superman S, that would have been
the narrative justification for that would have been tough, though.
Yeah, like I'm shedding my Kryptonian heritage based on my crazy dad. Like I don't identify with that. So now I'm gonna
That's actually, you know what? That actually might have worked if his mom was like working on, like, his mom hears the story, right? And she starts working right away. And he gets there and she's like, listen, you know, I can see that this symbol doesn't mean what you think it means anymore. Here, you're Superman. You should have your own symbol, and it's the S, right? That could have actually worked.
Yeah, and no trunks.
That could have actually worked. And no trunks.
And no trunks.
Give me your underoos while we're at it. Like, give me your underoos, and you can go fight crime again. Yeah, absolutely. I like that idea.
And then you're telling the world that is the DCU, I'm not what you saw on Fox News. I'm not that guy. I am not that father's son. I am this father's son, without having to say anything. So, yeah.